Welcome to podcasts recorded live at the Center for Spiritual Living in Portland, Oregon. We have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its video podcasts, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.
Good morning and welcome to the Portland Center for Spiritual Living. We are a science of mind community that teaches spiritual principles to transform your life and make the world a better place. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. All we ask is that you stay open to the possibility of changing your entire life simply by changing your mind. My name is Reverend Marilyn Sprague, and it is my honor to welcome you to the Portland Center for Spiritual Living this morning. If you're new to the center, I invite you to find out more about us on our website, cslportland.org. Under the About Us tab, you'll find a lot of information about who we are, what we stand for, and how we might serve you. The website also gives details about the various goings-on at the center, and you can sign up to receive a weekly email listing all of our events and services. And I would like to highlight just a few announcements here this morning. Sunday mornings, of course, we have Facebook Live at 11 a.m., and we welcome you. Wednesday evening, we have meditation on Zoom at 7 p.m. And this Wednesday, licensed practitioner Ann Forrest Burns is presenting Imagining Abundance. On Fridays, we have lunch with Reverend Larry on Zoom at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And after a check-in, we'll begin to discuss the magic of the spiritual nature of money. We also have an online Zoom group for our social justice book study group and our 12-step program for women. And we invite you to mark your calendars for Sunday, November 1st at 12:30 p.m. After our Facebook Live service, we'll be having our quarterly town hall meeting on Zoom. And Reverend Larry and our board of directors will present results of our pledge campaign, discuss our financials, and answer any question you may have. And at this time, I'd like to invite Reverend Larry to come up and talk about our Prosperity Month and how you can support the center in 2021.
Thank you, Marilyn. I appreciate the help. Welcome, everyone. I would like to take just a few moments to talk about our annual stewardship program. Let me start by thanking everyone who has contributed in any way over so many years to the Portland Center for Spiritual Living. It's through your gifts of money, of time, and effort that this center has been in existence in its several locations for over 60 years. The purpose of our annual prosperity program is to share tips and tools, information, and life learnings about creating true financial freedom in our lives. It's also about being good stewards of our money that we receive here at the center, to ensure that it's well spent, to be transparent to our membership on how we spend it, and also to let you know how we're doing financially. Let me share just a few highlights of our finances this particular year. So our center costs about $200,000 to run every year. That covers my salary, a few other salaries. It covers the building that we're in. It covers the routine kind of bills that everybody has at home, garbage, heat, light, that kind of thing. And this year, unfortunately, we're down about $20,000 to $30,000. Now, some of that totally makes sense. Our budget, of course, we can't expect people to be renting the building. We can't expect bookstore sales. All of those things that go with the physical nature of our building. We've not only decreased the budget, but of course, as you can imagine, the revenue is down as well in those areas. So we're still going to spend about 170,000 this year. And although we can't physically count people who now attend our services, right? We used to literally count them when they would come in the door. But Facebook Live does give us at least an idea of how many people are participating on Sunday. And it comes out averaged at about 150 to 170 people. That means that if everybody who watched on Sunday chipped in, it would only be about $20 per person to complete our entire budget for the year. Well, of course, that's a big if, right? Right now, only about a third of the people who tune in on Sunday are actually contributors. So today, we're asking you to consider making a gift or making a pledge to support the Portland Center for Spiritual Living. The pledge is also, of course, an intention for you to grow spiritually and to radiate out what you wish to see magnified and returned to you. Although we will be sending out pledge cards to those people we have in our database, we're conscious that many of you are newcomers to the center online, and we don't have that information. To this end, we've made it simple, easy to pledge your support and to give online. If you go to www.cslportland.org/pledge, you can make a pledge or easily make a gift, and we'll return that gift to you, a CD of some of our center's wonderful music. Everyone who pledges monthly will receive this gift. So I hope you'll join us prayerfully and thoughtfully to consider how you might support us in 2021. In November every year, we put together our budgets, and we're counting on you to allow us to keep making this commitment to raising the world up through the teachings of science of mind. Next week, we'll be giving you a program update to illustrate where your money goes and the many people who are touched by it. If you have any questions about the program, about pledging, don't hesitate to drop me a line. Also, any of our board of directors would be more than willing to answer any questions that you have. Thank you so very much for supporting the Center for Spiritual Living here in Portland, Oregon.
Thank you, Reverend Larry. And I'd like to give thanks to Kat Jacobs for the beautiful floral arrangement we have here on the platform this morning. And also today, our special music is provided by our own LaRhonda Steele. She is our music director here at the Portland Center for Spiritual Living, and she is accompanied by our Friends Band. Also giving thanks to our audio tech, Jim Bowie, our video tech, Mark Pettyjohn. Had a little brain pause there. And our message is from our own Reverend Larry King. So I invite you to sit back, because I know that somewhere between the music, the message, the meditation, it is exactly what your heart came to receive today.
Thank you, Marilyn, and thank you, Reverend Larry. So right now is our time for meditation. I invite you to bring your awareness to right here, right now. Bring your awareness to your breath. That life-giving force that is within us all. Let's sing, and we'll pray and go into a brief meditation today. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world, I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God.
Bringing our full attention, our full awareness to this now moment, right here, right now, recognizing the one mind, that creative genius, the impulse, the movement of all life, all that is seen, all that is unseen. It is of the one, for there is nothing outside of Spirit, God, Creator, whatever you choose to call it. It is that creative genius of all life, and I know that I am of it. The very substance of my body is of this one life, and the creative genius of the one mind flows in through and as my mind. That creative imagination is available to me every moment, at every place that I stand. And as it is true of me, I know it is absolutely true of every individual. No matter where anyone is, this creative genius is available in the now moment. And so right here, right now, I claim and affirm and I speak my word for and about all who are attending this service and for all people everywhere. First, I claim and affirm that the creative genius of the one mind flows in through and as Reverend Larry, inspiring, uplifting, bringing forth truth in today's message, the truth that uplifts us all. I claim and affirm that the music opens our heart and mind to receive this truth. And I claim and affirm for each person a willingness to open their heart and mind and allow that creative genius to spark imagination, to ever expanding prosperity and good in life. This creative genius that is unlimited flows in, through, and as each person's mind. There is a willingness to let go of all limiting beliefs and to open the imagination to the possibility of good and more good, expanding in ways that only that divine creative genius can reveal. It is good, it is very good. And I am so grateful for the truth that God is all there is. God is the creative genius available to each person. And I place this word into the activity and action of the law, knowing that the law is the eternal servant of spirit. It always says yes. And so with absolute certitude, together we say, and so it is. And I invite you to take this moment to go within and invite that creative genius that resides at the core of your being to flow freely and spark your imagination.
Welcome back from the silence. Our first song this morning is a song by Karen Drucker, and it's called Every Little Thought I Think. All right. When I'm feeling down and blue, I found a trick I can share with you. I can choose a better way with every little thought I think. And if I wake up with a bad attitude, I fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything with every little thought I think. Oh, I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. You see, it's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Yeah. What you thinking? 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 When I'm feeling down and blue, and there's a trick I can share with you. Day by day I pave the way with every little thought I think. If I wake up with a bad attitude, I fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. You see, it's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day I pave the way with every little thought I think. What you thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking? Oh yeah, what you thinking? Yes. Oh, what you thinking? Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
How did you learn how to sing so fast? I'm kind of, enjoying a little dance over here, but I'm wondering, how can she sing so fast? How can the band play that fast? Welcome, everyone. So glad you're here. October is our prosperity month, and we're using Catherine Ponder's book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. She's delineated 10, she calls them prosperity laws. What I know, of course, is they're just elements of the divine creative process, how our thoughts become things. But she's really outlining some very specific ways that we can usher in more monetary security, more happiness, more joy, more love, anything that we want expanded in our lives. You'll remember last week we talked about her primary law, her main law of prosperity, and that was a simple one. What we radiate out gets multiplied and then is attracted back to us. And of course, what she means by radiated out is the vibe that we're sending out, what we either think or what we say or what we do. When we put that out into the world, it's God's good pleasure just to make it bigger, and then it's attracted back to us. Now, you noticed last week, some of you commented that there's a little hiccup in this plan, and that's, of course, that if we radiate out things that we don't want, those also get magnified and sadly are also returned to us. And so part of this idea of prosperity, part of this law of prosperity, is that we have to do some editing. We have to be a little bit careful what we're radiating out. If we want love, we need to be radiating out love. If we want financial security, we need to be able to radiate out the beginnings of that financial security. We briefly talked about the idea of tithing as one way that you can radiate out the abundance that you wish to have multiplied and then have that returned to you. Again, though, just keep in mind that so often we radiate out what we don't want rather than what we do want. And so today, I'm going to talk about this idea of clarity. I'm going to talk about this idea that we do actually have to know in some detail in our thoughts, our words, our feelings, and our sense of being alive, of what we do want. We can't just leave that up to the least common denominator out in the world. So today we're going to focus on one aspect of the basic law of prosperity, and Catherine Ponder calls this adjunct to it the creative law of prosperity. And in it, we're going to use our imagination. We're going to use our creative force. We're going to use those creative ideas and imaginations and visualizations that can come to us as part of the way that we attract back to us that which we want to receive. Ernest Holmes called this, the founder of Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, called this the idea of making a mental equivalent. We're going to have an equivalent in our mind of what it is we want to experience in the world. But I want to make a counter suggestion to you, because I find so very often that what is on people's minds, what people are talking about, and even their actions in the world are actually the opposite of what they want. So often I have found people have some great clarity about what they don't want. Do you know what I mean? They'll be so very clear about what's wrong with their job. They'll be so very clear about what's wrong with the relationship that they're in, about what they don't like about their houses or their family or their neighborhood. They'll be so very clear about the bills coming in and worried about where the money is going to come to pay for them. They really are focused on the poverty in the world. And of course, I'm talking about money, but it could easily be focusing in on bad health outcomes, or it could be focusing in on love lives that are not going well, or work lives. And so, although this month we're focusing a bit on the financial aspect, it really applies to so much of our lives. And so my question to you specifically is, do you know what you want? Do you know what you want to experience in life? Do you know with some clarity how you would like your life to unfold? Or are you focused more on what you don't want? So that's really the issue, isn't it? If the initial law of prosperity is that what we radiate out is going to be magnified and come back to us, are we radiating out everything that we're dissatisfied with, everything that's a problem. Well, today I'm going to help us to switch over a bit, and we're going to do something that's a little bit fun, I hope. We're going to use our imagination, and we're going to use our creative abilities to set a better idea of what we do want. And Catherine Ponder has a couple very excellent manners of doing this, a couple really great ways of using your imagination. One is through your writing. Have you ever thought about just taking a piece of paper and writing down exactly how you'd like your life to go? You could almost think of writing the positive novel of how Reverend Larry ends up, right? It's like picture yourself moving forward in life, and if you were to write it out longhand, what would the next chapter be like? What would success be like for you? What would love be like for you? What would financial freedom be like for you? You ask the questions and then just write it down. And I know some of us aren't great prose writers. I get that. It's fine just even to make bullet points, because what you're doing is clarifying in your own mind what you do want rather than what you don't want. So if you want to concentrate on health, you might write down all the things that a healthy person would like to do coming up. You know, I picture myself hiking. I picture myself having the energy to paint the house. I see myself in 5 years' time, practicing to be a dragon boat rower or whatever it is, right? We're going to take a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen and just write down all the things that we would like to achieve. And it comes from that pure place of imagination. What would you like to do? What can you imagine yourself doing if you were healthier or more wealthy or had more energy or was going back to school, or you name it, whatever expansion you would like. Remember, this law is going to magnify what you put out and then attract it back to you. So what is that vision? What is that idea that you'd like to put out there to be magnified? And just go crazy. And don't even think too much about it, at least initially. Just write down all the things you'd like to do, all the things you'd like to achieve, all the feelings you'd like to have, whether it's an expanded love life, an expanded work life, an expanded social life, expanse in your finances. It really doesn't matter, because this law will work for any and everything. So that's the idea of writing it down. And then when you have it written down, even if it's just a series of bullets, what you're doing, of course, is you're creating that mental equivalent. You're creating that vision of where you would like to be and how you would like to be. And you're radiating it out. And I would recommend just every so often, certainly at least once a week, go over your list, go over what you'd written down to bring that alive into your thoughts again. And even perhaps start thinking about it, talking about it, and taking small steps to act upon it, right? We learned last week those are the 3 ways that we radiate out. We radiate out through our thoughts, through what we say, and of course the actions we take in the world. So as you look over your written description of how you'd like to live your life moving forward, begin thinking about it, begin speaking about it, and begin taking at least steps in the direction of it in the world. This is how we radiate out, and this is how we give clues to Spirit on what we want to have magnified in our life. Well, I do have another idea. In fact, Catherine Ponder spends a whole chapter talking about it, and so it's probably time for my joke to illustrate it. So a kindergarten teacher was showing her class an encyclopedia full of pictures of national flags. Eventually, she pointed to the American flag and asked, "What flag is this?" Well, a young boy called out, "That's our flag." "Very good," said the teacher. "And what's the name of our country?" Well, these were very young children, and honestly, they were stumped for a minute. So the teacher had an idea. "Close your eyes," she said. "We're going to use the power of visualization. Picture in your mind the flag that we just saw in the book. Can you see it? Can you see the stars and the stripes? The children nodded and made affirmative noises. Okay, now what things do you visualize around the flag of our country? Do any thoughts or words come to you when you think of our country? "'Tis of thee," shouted out a girl with some confidence. So, of course, today, right, we're going to talk about visualization. It's another wonderful way of creating that mental equivalent of what you want to have in your lives. So there are a couple ways that she suggests in the book, and I think they're both wonderful. One is to do what she calls a storyboard, or something that we've often done here at the Center for Spiritual Living. I call it treasure mapping, but however you want to think about it, it's creating a collage of how you see yourself in the future. And again, you can make this collage based on a theme. It could be a collage based on having a healthy life. It could be based on improved finances. It could be a collage based on better living situations or your work life. So you get to choose the subject, but then it's just a matter of either drawing or cutting out pictures, doing a visual representation of exactly how your life ought to be in the future. It's really putting your desires in a picture form on a collage. And then what I recommend doing is, again, we're creating that mental equivalent. And so you want to take a peek at it now and then, right? You don't need to fuss with it. You don't need to change with it. But you want to keep alive that vision of the future, that mental equivalent. And so often when I do my treasure maps, I call them, I have them posted around either the office or at home. And just every now when I'm passing by, I look at it and I call up that sense of having that vision of the future, of really embodying that life that I desire. And what I've noticed is sometimes it starts coming true without me even realizing it. I'll start noticing things from the corner of my eyes that sort of match that picture, and I'll be gravitated to them. I'll start making choices that bring me closer to that vision of the future. I'll start noticing that it's literally coming true in my own life, and all I have to do is meet it halfway. All I have to do is take steps in the direction of it. It's as though Spirit goes, that's the vision He wants. Let's make it available. If He's willing to walk into this vision of the future, here it is. And so I've had great success with that ability of building a mental equivalent through the visual means. And of course, I am of an artistic bent, so it makes sense. Some of us may gravitate more towards writing. Some of us may gravitate more towards the visual arts, and they both work equally well. So choose what might work for you and give it a try. The third form of imagining or visualization that she talks about in the book is a very simple one that you can do without any materials at all. You can do it right in the comfort of your own chair. Well, really, in the comfort of your own head. You don't even need to be in a chair. And I'd like to guide you through it. It's simply the idea of building a mental equivalent in your own mind. So if you're willing, just close your eyes for a moment and I'll lead you through this. Just sit comfortably. It does work better with your eyes closed. And take a few deep breaths to center yourself. As you breathe in, imagine that you're breathing in the creativity of Spirit itself, all the great ideas, all the great visions of the future. It is the creativity of Spirit itself, and when you breathe in, you're breathing in that creativity. When you breathe out, just breathe out any doubts and fears. It's only natural that maybe we've blocked up our good by fears of not enough or lack. Just breathe that out. So breathe in creativity and breathe out our doubts and fears. Breathe in creativity and breathe out any doubts and fears. Breathe in our creativity just release our doubts and fears. Today, we're going to use our imagination to create a mental picture, a mental equivalent of a better, richer life. I invite you to think of any area in your life that you would like to see expanded or made more abundant. It might be your health. It might be your bank account. It might be your love life or your work life. It might be something material that you've always wanted, or an experience that you've always wanted to have. Could be the spiritual riches that you'd like to see increased in your life. All of these are possibilities in the mind of God. Anything that ever has been created, anything that ever will be created, possible in the mind of Spirit. You have that ability to expand your existing life in any area, made possible through the co-creative power of Spirit. Now that you've selected an area for expansion in your life, that area that you'd like to see more abundance, more health, more joy, or more peace, I'd like to picture you, I'd like you to picture yourself having it. In your mind's eye, picture yourself right in the middle of this enhanced and expanded life. Your life is now going exactly as you would choose it. And that desire for more abundance or expansion is yours. What would it look like? How would you look in it? Where would you be? And what would be going on? What are the elements of this expanded abundance? Who would be with you, if anyone? In your mind's eye, look around your enhanced world. Notice all the little details of this improved life. Notice everything going on now that you have this increased or expanded sense of life. Really sense the ways in which your life would be improved or enhanced. And now I'd like you for just a moment to concentrate on your feelings. How does it feel to be a richer, healthier, or more abundant person? What does this actually feel like? Do you feel more free? Do you feel more alive? Do you feel more safe or secure? What feelings go with this newfound sense of abundance and expansion? It may be a feeling that you're unfamiliar with. Just allow yourself to feel those feelings of having this expanded life. Well, I invite you to take one last look. Just notice your thoughts and feelings as they pertain to this visualization. And know that you can return here whenever you want. You can revive this mental equivalent in your mind. And know that Spirit will now take this mental equivalent as a mold to be filled. This is your radiation for your upcoming life, and it is God's good pleasure to magnify it, to enhance it, and return it to you. Your job is now simple. It's to be willing to accept this new good as it comes to you. And so you can open your eyes now. I would invite you that this is something you can do anytime you have a few spare minutes. If you're waiting in someone's office, if you have a spiritual practice that you normally do during the day, just any time when you have 5 or 10 minutes, revive your mental equivalent, that expanded life that you wish to experience. Every time you do that, you're simply inviting God through your emanation, through what you've put out there, through that radiation of the life that you wish to have. God is reminded, oh, that's it. That's what she desires. That's what he is planning on having. And then God magnifies that and begins to set it up in such a way that you can accept it. You can walk into it, you can claim it, and it is yours. Well, let me summarize today. Today we've been using the powerful law of prosperity that we learned about last week. We learned that if we want God's good blessing, we have to know what it is. We have to focus on what we want rather than focusing on what we don't want. And to do that, we have to have some clarity around what our expanded life would be like. If I had the abundant life, how would it feel? How would it look? How would I be in it? All of these ideas of clarity help to build up what Ernest Holmes called a mental equivalent. It is that vision of my future in its improved state. We also learned one way to build this mental equivalent is through our writing. We can simply write down what it is we wish to achieve, what it is we wish to experience. And we don't have to be great writers, right? It only has to resonate with us and God. It only has to explore that divine connection between your own soul and the divine. And so the words you use are just perfect. They can be bullet points even, but it is a roadmap, if you will, of what it is you're willing to accept in your own life. Then we also talked about doing this in picture form, right? Whether you call it a storyboard or a piece of art, whether you call it a treasure map or a collage, it doesn't really matter. Just cut out pictures that remind you specifically of what you wish to experience or achieve or do in the world. And that too acts as that mental equivalent to draw to you that expanded nature of what you desire. And then finally, no tools, no magazines, no scissors required. You can also build the mental equivalent just in your own mind through the idea of creative visualization. Just close your eyes and truly picture yourself having that expanded life, having your finances in good order, having the peace that you desire or the working conditions you desire. It is through your imagination that you create that mental equivalent and you set the stage for that expanded life to come into your own experience. Well, I'm going to close today with a bit of homework, a quote, and a prayer. The homework is this one. Last week, I asked you to journal a little bit about how different your life would be if you were leading that abundant life. I was asking you, in effect, to move ahead into this week a little bit and try your skill at journaling. Try your skill at writing down what you would like to achieve, what you would like to experience in life. This week, I'd like to move that either into the visual or mental realm and take up one of the two ways that we talked about using your imagination to build that mental equivalent. So either sit down with some scissors and magazines and poster board and crayons and Sharpies and develop an actual board, an actual picture of yourself in the future, the way you'd like to be living your lives. Or if you'd rather, just close your eyes and do that in your own imagination. Either one's fine, but that's your homework for this week. I want to make sure we have practice in creating this idea of a mental equivalent, either through our writing, which we did last week's homework, or this week doing it in visual form, either literally visual on a piece of paper or visual in our own mind. And what I'm guessing is one or more of those ways will really resonate with you, really allow you to build that powerful mental equivalent. And when that mental equivalent is set, oh my gosh, that is the radiation that is going to bring to you the life of your choosing. Well, let me close with a quote here from Catherine Ponder. She says, "Don't compromise in your mental images. Imagine what you really want, not just what you think you should have or could have. Pay no attention to your will and reason, which will try to talk you out of your mental pictures. If you feed your imagination half-hearted or lukewarm, that's the kind of results you're going to get. Since they will not be satisfactory, you might have to start all over again." So she's really counseling us to go for the gusto. Imagine the lives that we truly wish to have. She says, "Truly, the image does not change the condition, but it is up to you to make the image. Realizing this, you now know that there is no need to fight or force your good to you. Instead, just get busy. Quietly imagine it in detail as you wish it to be, and then declare concerning these images, 'This or something better, God, thy unlimited good will be done.'" Let us pray. There is one power, one presence, one life, one force, one creative urge. It is only this thing that I call God or Spirit. And what I know about it, it is in infinite supply. And it is also part of infinite givingness. It is God's good pleasure to give to itself, to us as centers of Spirit. I know that means me. I know that I'm part of the consciousness that is God. I know that the life and the love and the joy and the peace and the abundance of God is also mine. That it is God's pleasure as I accept this good and use this good to create more in the world, to do my part of magnifying the good of other people and returning it to them. And as it is true for me, I know without question that it is true for everyone. Each of us has that ability to create a mental equivalent in our own minds through our writing, through collage, through our mental imagination. And as we create that mental equivalent, it is a mold to be filled. It is God's good pleasure to rush in, magnify it, and make it so, to return it to us. And so this week and the week following, I know we're about creating those positive mental pictures. We're going to leave off our negative radiation, right? We're no longer going to be building the mental equivalent of what we don't want. We're going to be positively picturing ourselves living the good life, the comfortable life, the healthy life, the life that's full of love and peace and joy. And as we create that mental equivalent, oh my gosh, the blessings truly abound. And so I'm grateful for this. I let it be, and together we say, and so it is. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I invite you now, if you would like, it's our time of conscious giving. I know some of you are very blessed and a blessing to us. I know that many of you have set up auto pays and go online every Sunday to make your contribution to the center. And I invite you, if you like, to do that now. You can repeat after me. Graciously I give, from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive. And just a reminder, it's www.cslportland.org/pledge if you'd like to make a pledge or a donation right now. Thank you so very much. And I think it's time for some more music. Is it going to be another swing time one? I can't wait. Oh, no. Okay. All right. Take it away, LaRhonda.
I think we used up all our brain cells in that first song. I want to thank the Friends Band, Ken Brewer on guitar and keys today. Hey. Jim Solberg on bass and Don Schultz on drums. All right. So this is another Karen Drucker song offering. And the title of it is Money is Coming to Me, Easily and Effortlessly. But as I was listening to Reverend Larry's talk, I'm inviting you to put whatever your mental equivalent is in the place of money. It could be money. It could be health. It could be socks. It could be, whatever your mental equivalent is there. Love. Put that in this song. Sing along with us. Yeah. And we're grooving. So I'm hoping that you're getting up out of your seats and moving these beautiful vessels that we get the honor to be in. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Come on, y'all. Say, money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Yes, it is. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Every time I open my heart, I receive all that I need, knowing that God is my source. I relax and let it flow. I let it flow and I say, easily and effortlessly, money is coming. Oh, yeah. Coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Oh, yeah. That's right, y'all. All I have is all that I need, and it's all inside of me. I just ask and let go, and let spirit. Yeah, Monday. Oh yeah, yeah. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. All right. Come on, sing it with us, say money. Money, 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 money. Oh, yeah. Love, prosperity is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Yeah. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Yeah. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me. Oh, yes.
Well, that was pretty sweet. I did like that. Another chapter in the book that we're not actually covering this month talks about building a mantra. What a great idea. That's another way of creating that mental equivalent of what you want to have. So we can do it in a song. It's beautiful. Thank you, LaRhonda. Thank you, Ben. So before we close today, just a couple reminders. One, we're here to help you in prayer. So if something's going on in your life where you'd like an actual boost through prayer support, don't hesitate to go to our website, that's cslportland.org. At the bottom of every single screen is a link for making a prayer request. And when you do that, they're automatically emailed out to all of our prayer practitioners, all 12 of them. And it's our honor to pray for you throughout the week. The other reminder is just that we're in our pledge month. You can go to that same website, cslportland.org, and just put /pledge. And that will really help us as we go into the budgeting process in November. We'll get a better idea of how many people are supporting us and to what extent. And I really do invite those of you out there listening to us who haven't given before. This isn't about vast sums of money. Just being a regular giver can absolutely increase that good which is magnified and returned to you. So give it a try. We call it tithing, but it doesn't mean necessarily 10% of your worldly goods, right? That's maybe a biblical idea, but it isn't something that we ascribe to. From my perspective, the tithe is simply a regular gift to your spiritual source. And what I know is it works for me. It ends up being magnified and returned to me as so many blessings. So thank you again for being here today. I hope you take advantage of our prayer support, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you happen to be in the Portland, Oregon area, we'd love to have you visit in person. The Portland Center for Spiritual Living is located at 6211 Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. We have inspirational services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. every Sunday. We also have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. We have a variety of content dedicated specifically for our online listeners. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Our website is also the place to learn more about what's going on at the center or to contact us. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.